Hello everyone, welcome to KC Technologies. So today we are going to discuss about what is DevOps and what is AWS. So as part of this, first let us discuss what is DevOps and then we'll move to AWS. Now DevOps. So everyone will speak like Dev and Ops are two teams, so it is split into two words and all like that. You might have heard many times, right? So now let's get deep dive into that and try to understand. Dev and ops, right? Dev means development, ops means operations. So there are two teams. If I take any project, so there will be two teams. One is developers team and then operations team. So now let's take one project. I have to develop one website for KC Technologies. Okay. So that is one of the company. Just think that KC Technology is one of the company. And for that, I want to develop one application or a website. So what I did is I have group of people who develops, okay, who does the coding, actual coding, right? Like Java, Angular, okay, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, like the .NET or Python, some programming languages they will use, right? So that team who does that development is called as developers team or development team. So once if I complete the development of any project, do that mean it is everything is done for that project? No. Then what has to do? So when the development is done, where I will the code? For example, it is in my laptop. So does this make any sense when having that software or a code in my local? No. Everyone has to access. It is a website, right? Everyone has to access it. Then what I have to do? I have to take that code. Okay, I have to take the code of that project and put it in one server. Okay, one of the application server. Why I have to put it in server? Because it is a website. It's a web application. Everyone has to access it from remote location, from internet. They have to access, right? So that's the reason we have to put that application in server. That process is called as deployment. Okay. Now, who is doing that coding and all? Development team. But who is deploying that project in server? That is called as operations team. Okay. If I have coding, it's fine. I have project ready, but I have to deploy it in one of the server. Who will take care of that? Ops team will take care. After deployment, just in that the midnight that application stopped working, who will monitor it? Ops team. Okay, who will maintain it? Ops team. Okay, that is the brief knowledge about developers team and ops team. Okay, fine. Now let's take that. Now I am planning to learn DevOps because we know there are plenty of opportunities for DevOps and AWS. Okay. Now, what is this DevOps? Is this a tool, or else is it a programming knowledge? No. DevOps is not a programming knowledge. DevOps is not a tool. It is a process. Okay. If I take few tools and automate the development and operation team's jobs, okay. If I take some tools, few tools, maybe 3, 4, 10, 10, 20, I don't bother. Okay. Few tools I have to take based on my requirement and automate the jobs, manual jobs, what developers team and operations team were doing, right? I want to automate that manual jobs. Okay. Then that is called as DevOps. Okay. Mostly this will be happen for deployments. Deployments I already discussed, right? So I have a code and I want to put it in server. Now we know some little knowledge about DevOps, but to work on DevOps, what is a prerequisite? Basic what I need to know is Linux. Not in administration level, you don't need to learn Linux commands in administration level, but you have to learn to some extent. Okay, minimum at least basic to some minimum extent. Why I need to learn? Because in real time, 90 to 95% of the industry or real time, we use Linux systems. For just working purpose, we may use Windows laptops, but to work with the actual servers in real-time approach, okay, we work on Linux environments. That is the reason we have to learn about Linux commands, okay, because we are going to do whatever the DevOps, whatever we are working on, okay, not only DevOps, even if you do manual approach also, where we have to do all these things on Linux, okay. Now, I have said, right, DevOps is not a programming knowledge or a tool, it is a process, right? So that process, what is that process? Using multiple tools, I have to make some automation process where we install that tools in Linux. Okay, fine. Now for that, what we are have to learn is Linux. Linux we are going to learn. Now, one more, if you observe, I made one statement that is DevOps is a process, what we make automation using different tools, right? So what I want to do some functionality. Okay, I want to implement some functionality, but there is no tool for that. I haven't found any tool in Google or somewhere. I haven't found any tool to meet my requirement. Then what should I do? We have to write some scripting, our own scripting, right? Sorry. We use for DevOps, as part of DevOps, we use many tools, but to meet my requirement of some functionality, I don't have a tool. I don't have a tool. Then what should I do? I have to write my own scripting. For that, we are going to learn shell script. Okay, fine. That also we are going to learn. Next, just see this. I'll take one example and make it more realistic so that you people can understand. See that I have two backend developers, two UI developers, one database developer, okay, who writes the queries. Just think that like that, okay. Now, these two people, backend developers, they are going to work on Java. These two people were going to work on Angular, JavaScript, some UI, right? UI technologies. This person is working on some database queries. Now, where they will work? Their own individual laptops. Now, this person has some set of code, this person has some set of code, some set of code, like that. Everyone has their own set of codes. Now, can I take individual code and treat as application? No, I have to combine. I have to combine everyone's code. So for that, can I ask everyone to share their code in a pen drive, take it, merge it, and all? It's a dirty approach, right? So for that, what we have to do? We'll create one central place. We'll create one central place. We'll ask everyone to connect there. Okay, we'll ask everyone to connect there. I asked him to connect. Okay, everyone is connecting to this central place. So what they have to do by connecting here is, if this person, first person completes coding, okay, he has written 10 lines of code. What he'll do is he'll take that 10 lines and put it here. Okay. Next, everyone, the second, third, fourth, fifth person, everyone, whenever they completes their code, what they have to do is they have to keep their code here. Now, the first person has written some file called a.java. He moved that here. Now, B person wants to work on the same file. Okay, A person has written 10 lines. Now, B person wants to work with the 10 lines and he has to add 5 more lines. Then what he has to do? This B person, no need to ask this person. Okay, no need to ask person for the 10 lines. Why? Because he already placed that code. So B person will connect here, take that. The first person has already moved his code here, right? The B person will take the code from there to here, modify that, add the extra lines, whatever he needed, and then he'll keep it here. Next, A person, he will take that 50 lines from here and then work from there. So this, what is this? Is source code management. For that, what we are going to source code management, how we are managing the code, right? That is called as source code management. For that, there are different tools. What we are going to learn for this source code management and is Git and GitHub. We are going to learn GitHub, GitHub. Okay. GitHub is source code management tool. Then what is this Git? Git is version controlling system. Now, take the same scenario what I said. A person has more 10 lines of code here in one file. B person also took that file and done some more changes on that file. On top of that 10 lines, he added 5 more lines, total 15 he placed here. Now, in that 5 lines, okay, 11 to 15 lines, there is some issue. Then what I have to do? I have to fix that. Instead of fixing that, if I want to go back to previous version, okay, the first person, whatever the A person has done the changes, right, 10 lines, I want to go back to previous one. Okay, I don't want this B person changes. For that, there will be a tracking. So whenever I modify any file in this Git source code management tool, there will be history. When the first person moved his changes, the history is 1, for example. Whenever the second person made some changes, the history is 2. Now the 2 history has some changes. So can I, if I have the history, can I go back to the first version? Yes, I can go, because it has a history. So that is called as version controlling system. So using Git and GitHub, we are going to achieve version controlling system. For that, what we are going to learn is, okay, for source code management and version controlling, what we are going to learn is Git and GitHub. Okay, let me write it at the end so I can get enough space to write here. Right, guys, let me write it down here. Fine. Next, I have code this. I have code of one project. Just think that they have completed one project. Now, what I have to do? I want to deploy that project in one of the server. Okay, I took one server and I want to deploy it. This is my application server. For this, what we are going to learn, there are different types of application servers like Tomcat, WebSphere, okay, JBoss, Wildfly also we call it as, and then WebLogic. There are so many. So what we are going to learn, because we want to deploy our application. Why we want to deploy an application server? Because it's a web application. People has to access that. If you see Flipkart, Amazon, how we are accessing? Through browser. Just mobile app you ignore. Mobile app is also one of the web application. But if you go through browser, we are just hitting the URL. Do we know that where is the Flipkart is? No, somewhere else it is. Just we are accessing through URL, right? Same like that also for KC Technologies company. I have developed one application. Now I have completed that. I want to deploy it in server because everyone public has to access, means end customers. So for that, what we are going to learn is Tomcat, okay, and JBoss, also called as one. This we are going to learn. Fine. Now I have this project. I want to deploy this inside my server. So can I directly take that, because that coding is there, right? Whatever these people has written, that is in text files. Java is also text only, right? Maybe the syntax is a little different. It's not like a English or Hindi language or some other language. It's like some text. We written in English only, but it's a text, I mean to say. Okay. Now, can I take that JavaScript or DB queries or Java files and put it here in the server directly? No, I cannot. Why? Because server cannot understand those formats. Server can, this Tomcat or whatever the server we have, right? Any application server, what that can understand is, it can understand only 3 formats. What are those? Is jar, var, er. Okay? We call this as archives. Okay. No, or artifacts also we call this. Okay. Mostly we call archives artifacts. Okay. Now I want to convert this project into any one of these formats. Why I want to convert? Because this application server supports only 3 formats, but this project has different files. Those are text files, right? As text file, I have to take all the files, convert that files into any one of these artifacts or archives, okay, and deploy that archive into the server. But to do that, we don't need to do anything. There is some tool. There is some tool that is called as build tool. Okay, that is called as build tool. Okay, but this build tool, what we are going to learn is Ant, which is outdated, Maven. These two we are going to learn. Ant is outdated. Maven is one of the latest one, very popular as well. We'll discuss in detail about Maven. Sorry guys. We'll discuss about Maven in detail. Regarding Ant, I'll give only 3 examples, because why I'm discussing very less about Ant is because Ant is outdated, but still why we are discussing even though it is outdated, because there are some legacy projects. If we are going to work with any legacy project, old project, okay, then what if they have used Ant there? If you are not aware of Ant, you have to face problem, right? So that's why we'll discuss a minimum, at least the minimum required thing. You no need to implement, and if it is a legacy project, you may need to do some modifications if you want to support it. For that, we are going to learn and Maven we will discuss end to end. So we have this, right? So for that, we are going to discuss building. We will discuss and Maven. Fine. Now, what I will do is I'll take this code, I'll give it to Maven. Maven will convert that into any one of these three formats. I'll take that artifact and put it in Tomcat server. Okay, here I'll put it that. Okay, fine. This is fine. I'm doing it. Okay. But what I have to do is think that these are the 4 or 5 developers, right? Just think, whatever the developers are there in organization, are they experts? Okay, may or may not be, most of the time, not much expert. Just think that these 2 are seniors and very good in technologies. These 2 are average and this person is a fresher. If they has done a coding, what about the security standards of the code? Okay, coding, just writing the code and making it working is not a big task. Along with that, what we have to do is we have to take care of the quality of the code. Now, my manager has asked me to take care of the quality of the code as well. Now, what I did is I just selected this person who is very expert with all the technologies, and I asked him to review everyone's code. Every day they will write some code, right? So he has to take care of his job and also review everyone's code, whether they have written in a correct format or not. But will it take time? And can we 100% dependent on that guy that he will not do any mistake? We cannot do think like that, right? Even sometimes he may do some mistake. So for that, what we can do is we can use some other tool. Okay, we can use some other tool, that is code quality analysis. Okay, for code quality analysis, code. Okay, quality analysis, I'll write like this. For that, what we are going to learn to check the code quality analysis, to analyze the code quality, what we are going to learn, we are going to learn one of the tool called as SonarQube, very popular. Okay, we are going to learn that SonarQube. What it will do? So when developers commit some code, okay, I don't want to do it. It's static code analysis. If you give us 2 plus 3 and expect the result as 5, it will not check that SonarQube. That is different. That Selenium test cases, JUnit test cases we write, right? That kind of testing. What this SonarQube will do is whether you have written in a proper syntax. Okay, then whether you, for example, I have declared one variable called int a equal to 10, but I have induced. I declared it, but not using it. In that case, am I wasting the memory of that variable? Int a equal to 10, a variable memory I'm wasting, right? Such things. And it is going to static code analysis it is going to do. Okay, for that we learn Sonar, very popular. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the code from whatever the developers has committed their code to Git SCM, right? I'll take that, give it to SonarQube, analyze the Sonar code using SonarQube. So it will generate a report. This is the issue. Your code has these many issues. Okay, at the list line number, these are the issues, and it will give some syntax also how to fix that. If there is an issue, it will identify that and it will give some solution to fix that as well, right? Now it will generate that report. After generating that report, what I have to do is I have to give the same code to Maven. Okay, Maven, what it will do? It will convert that application into any one of these artifacts. Whatever we need, we have to tell it to Maven. Hey Maven, I need var, I need ER, I need jar. Whatever you tell that, it will convert and give it. Now what we have to do is we have to take it and deploy it to Tomcat. Now, one more thing. I have deployed one application with a version called 1.0. Okay, first I have deployed because it is not a waterfall. Waterfall means what? If you want to develop one application, we'll take the requirement, we'll design the entire application. After 6 months, we'll put that in server. Okay, but in recent times, Agile is very popular. Agile Scrum, Agile Scrum Ban, okay, um, Kanban, this and all. Okay, as part of our course, we will discuss that Agile, Waterfall, Scrum Ban, Kanban, everything we are going to discuss in detail. Okay, fine. So in Scrum, what we'll do is we'll not wait for 6 months. Agile Scrum, Agile, sorry, not Scrum, Agile methodology. In Agile, there are so many methodologies. In Agile approach, what we are going to do is we are not going to release that project for 6 months. First, we'll take the basic requirement. For example, if it is any login application, KC Technologies, Office, I want to log in. So with that login and registration, first I'll deploy that, design that application, and then deploy it with 1.0. Fine, people are able to register and log in. Then what I'll do is I'll add some courses. I'll add in the second release, what I'll do is I'll add DevOps related content. Fine. Next, in third release, I will add AWS related content like this. Enhancement for every week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, like that. We can divide in Agile process. Instead of going or releasing the entire product with all the features, what we are going to do is we are going to give step by step. Fine. Now what I did is first time I deployed 1.0 version in the server. Done. Next, I removed that and deployed second 2.2 version. Fine. Again, I updated the application. So I removed the 2.0 and deployed 3.0 version. Fine. In the 3.0 version, when after deploying, I found there is an issue. Okay. There is a issue. Instead of AWS course content, it is showing as Azure course content. Then I asked the developers, hey guys, this is incorrect. It has to show AWS content. By mistake, it is showing as Azure content. Can you change it? They asked me to stop. They asked me for 1 hour time. Okay. So until 1 hour, it is going to show until the developers need 1 hour time, right? In that time, can I show that wrong content? Because in that 1 hour time, students may come access that application. They may find that KC Technology supports Azure as well, right? Now, then can I stop that application for 1 hour? No. If I stop that, what? My student cannot come and access that. Then what to do? Can I run that issue? Two ways. One is run with that, keep the application with the issue, or else stop that application for 1 hour and then start after fixing it. This is one case. So what if I have a backup of this? So what I'm doing is I'll keep one backup, one tool here, which takes the backups. Okay, which takes the backups. So first time, what I'm doing, I'm deploying 1.0 version, right? Here I'm going to deploy 1.0 version. Before deploying 1.0 version, I took backup here. I took one backup here and then deployed 1.0 version here. Next. Later, I added some other features like DevOps content course details and deployed 2.0 version. But before deploying 2.0 version, I took a backup there and then deployed. Fine. Next, again, 3.0 version. 3.0 version. So here I have to remove the previous versions, right? Here we will remove this and then insert the deploy the latest version 3.0. Now in the 3.0 version, I have found one issue. Fine. If I have found that issue, then what can I do? I have a backup, right? I no need to wait until the developers fix it. I no need to wait for 1 hour until the developers fixes it because I have a backup here. What I'll do is I'll remove this. I have a backup here of previous version. I'll put it and run that with the older version. It's okay. I don't want to display wrong content or stop my application. Let me run with the only DevOps content, previous version of content. Once the developers fixes this, then I'll make it as 3.0 version and deploy with that 3.1 version. Okay. What is this? I'll be going little faster, guys. Okay. I hope the speed is enough. You are able to get it. Okay. What is this? Is external artifactory repository. Okay. External artifactory repository. For this is just naming. Okay. As part of this, what are the tools we are going to learn is Nexus and JFrog. Okay. Instead of this Tomcat, along with Tomcat, we are going to learn JBoss. Okay, or WildFly, both are same. Okay, we are going to along with Tomcat. Either we can use Tomcat or JBoss, WildFly, WebSphere, anything we use. As part of our course, we are going to learn Tomcat in JMOS. Now, I have all these tools. I'm happy that I have a source code management, which reduces the developer's job, and code quality analysis, which reduces the reviewing process. Next, which converts that application into any of the artifact, then taking a backup and deploying to server. Fine, I'm happy with that. But how I have to do this? Manually, I'm doing. Okay, this I will take this code, I will give this code to SonarQube, then I'll give it to Maven, then I'll keep the backup in Nexus, and then I'll deploy it in Tomcat. How I'm doing? Manually. Is this the reason we are going to learn DevOps? No, we want to automate things. That is the reason we are learning DevOps, right? Fine. Then how can I automate it? These are the individual tools. They don't have the capability to communicate with each other. SCM cannot tell that I am done with coding and developers has committed. Hey, SonarQube, take my code and review it. Analyze the code quality. It cannot ask. Okay. It cannot ask Maven. It cannot ask like that. They have individual. They are individual tools. They don't have the capability to communicate with each other. Then what I have to do? There is some other tool called as continuous integration tool. Okay, fine. Sorry guys, it was some internet issue. Now, thus we have, as these tools are individual tools, they don't have the capability to interact with each other. Then how to make it? I don't want to do it manually. That is the reason I'm learning DevOps. I want to make it automated. How to make it automated is using continuous integration tools. These continuous integration tools are like Jenkins, okay, Bamboo, TeamCity, Travis CI, like that. What is a popular tool in that? Jenkins. Many of you might have heard about Jenkins, which is very popular. Okay. Now, continuous integration, I'll write as CI. Okay. Next, what I'm going to do with this tool is, I don't want to do these steps manually. I don't want to do these steps manually. I don't want to call Maven. I don't want to call SonarQube, Nexus and deployment to Tomcat. I don't want to do manually. Then what I will do is, I will create some job in Jenkins. Okay, I will give some job to Jenkins. Okay, and what I'm going to tell Jenkins is, hey Jenkins, you just first you go and connect to my GitHub. Take the code there, and then call SonarQube. Okay, call SonarQube, and then call Maven. So when it calls SonarQube, SonarQube will do its job. Then in the third step, you call Maven. Once Maven job is done, you call Nexus. Nexus automatically it will take the backup. Then you call Tomcat, means you deploy it into Tomcat. So I'm telling that step by step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps like that. I'm going to tell that Jenkins do this step by step. So first step, take the code from Git. Second step, call SonarQube. Third step, call Maven. In the fourth step, take that artifact generated by Maven and keep it in Nexus, and then deploy that in Tomcat. Like that, I'm going to tell that. Okay, fine. That is what Jenkins will do. It is like a heart here. Okay, who will do that continuous integration? Jenkins will do. What is continuous integration? What is continuous delivery? What is continuous deployment? We will discuss in detail. Okay, in classes, actual classes. Fine. Next, this is about small DevOps approach. Okay, not small. In this, even we will discuss so many things like pipeline script in Jenkins. We are going to discuss pipeline script, master slave configuration, real-time scenarios, and dev environment, CDT, UAT, production environment, staging, pre-prod, like that. There will be some many real-time approaches. We will discuss that in detail. Why we have that dev environment and all like is because when I develop application, can I directly, if for example, if I work for Flipkart, can I directly give it for end users like us to use that? No. For that, what we have to do? We have to test it properly, right? So how to do that testing and all we'll discuss in detail. Okay, fine. This is one. Next, the same thing. If you are clear, then I'll go to some other thing, that is Ansible. Okay, I'll explain that. Let me take another print. Okay, so what I'm doing is the source code manage. I'm going to ignore that here, as we already know about SonarQube, Maven, Nexus and all. I'm not going to touch about that. Just I'll directly move from Git to Tomcat. Just think that this is Git. Okay, this is SCM, source code management. Okay, fine. I want to deploy that into Tomcat server. Fine. Okay, the tools I'm ignoring here. We know all the tools, right? I'm ignoring here. I just deployed that application in my Tomcat. Let me take Tomcat little bigger. Okay, I deployed my application inside my Tomcat. Fine. Now, this KC Technologies office is there, right? Now it's not much popular. Okay, just think that it is not much popular. And now there are 100 users accessing it at a time. Just think that. Now, what is this capacity of my Tomcat server is 100 users. At a time, it can support 100 users. If 100 users are accessing my website, it supports. What if it goes 120 users? It will go slow. Okay. First, it will serve the 100 users. In 100 users, if 20 users stops working, then that other 20 will come into picture. Like that, it will serve. But what if 150 comes? What if 200 users comes at a time? The Tomcat cannot support, right? So what we'll do is we will deploy this application in multiple servers. We'll deploy that into multiple servers. Same Tomcat application will deploy in multiple servers. These are different Linux missions actually. What is this and all I'll discuss in detail, okay, in classes, don't worry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deploy everywhere. Okay, the same application with the 3 version, 4 version, whatever the version changes, right? 4 version, 4 version, 4. If that application updates with 5th version, 5.0, 5.0, 5.0, like that I'm going to update. Now what I'll do is I'll create one load balancer here. Okay, I'll create one load balancer here. Now, if any user is coming here, he will hit instead of hitting that application directly, he will hit the load balancer. The request can go here. What if second user comes? Another user is tried accessing. Then what it will do is it will start serving from here. What if third user comes? It will start serving. Okay. What if 30 users come? 10 users can access this server, 10 users, 10 users. Right? What if 3,000 users come? Like that, it will share that load. Okay. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Based on the server capacity, it is going to do that load balancing. Fine. Now, what I want to do is here I have deployed 5.0 version of my application. Here also 5.0. Here also 5.0. Now, what I thought is I did some enhancements to my application. I named it as 6.0. I want to deploy that 6.0 here. I have to deploy here also, right? I have to deploy here also, all 3 places. I have to deploy. I cannot directly deploy in multiple servers at a time. To do that, what we are going to use is Ansible. Okay, Ansible. What it does is it minimizes our jobs. Okay, it minimizes our jobs. It can do what is this is called as configuration management tool. Okay, Ansible is called as configuration management tool. Okay, this is one scenario what I have explained. This I have to deploy this application here and here, right? One second, guys. Is a new laptop I'm getting it. Okay, fine. So I will apply all the places, latest versions. What I'll do is I'll use some tool called as Ansible, and I'll tell that tool to deploy everywhere. I'll give the IP address of this and tell the steps what it has to do. It will take care of that. I don't need to bother. I don't need to deploy one time here, and then again here. I'll tell Ansible, it will take care. One more thing. For example, here I have installed Java 1.7. Here 1.7, here 1.7. Now I want to update Java version from 1.7 to 1.8. This is one Linux mission. First, I'll connect to this, uninstall Java 1.7, uninstall 1.8. Again here, I'll connect to this, uninstall 1.7, install 1.8. Again here, I have to repeat it. If just think that it takes 10 minutes to do on each mission. Okay, this is one Linux, right? This Tomcat resides on one Linux, this Tomcat is on one Linux, this Tomcat is on one Linux. If I have to do that, each one takes 10 minutes, then 30 minutes for 3. What if I have 30 Linux instances, 30 into 30 minutes, right? It's very difficult. In that case also, what I can do is, I can tell Ansible, hey Ansible, go and connect to this 30 IP address, uninstall Java 1.7, install Java 1.8. It will do for us. Okay, that is the job of Ansible. What is it? Configuration management tool. Fine. That is we are going to learn. Next, if you are clear this, I'll reward this. Next, what we are going to learn is the powerful tools, Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, very popular nowadays, Docker and Kubernetes. What those is, Docker is containerization tool, and then Kubernetes orchestration tool for Docker. And what is this containerized? What is this orchestration? We don't know, right? So let me explain with small scenario. What I decided is, this is my development environment. Okay, this is my testing environment. This is my production environment. What is this environment? Okay, let me explain. Now I have one set of SCM here. Okay, SCM will not be like that. Okay, just take one example. I have one second, guys. Okay, I have my application in development environment. Let me name it as dev. So you can dev test production. First, here I will have one server. Okay, one Tomcat server I'll have. In that I'll deploy my application and test it properly. Okay, this is my Linux instance, Linux mission. Okay, in that I have installed Tomcat. In that I deployed my KC Technologies website. Now what I'll do is, I'll test it thoroughly first. I'll test it as a developer, for example. If I'm the developer, I'll test it thoroughly. Once I feel it is fine, then what I'll do is, I'll take the same thing. I'll take that same thing. Okay, what is the application I have, right? I'll take that and deploy in another Tomcat. Okay, it also has testing environment, also has Tomcat. I'll deploy the same application here. Now, who will test here is our testers will test it. There will be some pre-production also. I'm not going to discuss that. I'll discuss that part, of course. It is a demo only, right? So here my company testers will test. They will do end-to-end testing. Here I just haven't done sanity testing, just whether it is working or not. That's it. They will do negative test cases, so many regression, so many things they will do here. Now, once they found everything is fine, then only we'll deploy it in production. Okay, production, whether it is a load balancing cluster, I have discussed, right? Ansible. Okay, for Ansible we have a cluster environment, I have explained, right? So whether we have that or not, whether it is single server or multiple servers which shares the load with the load balancer, whatever it is, we put it in production. How many environment? This is development environment, testing environment. If everything is fine, then we'll move the application to production environment. Fine. Now, here, when I deployed my application here, the application is developed on Java 1.8 version. Here I have installed Java 1.8 version. So when I deploy it here, it will work fine, no issues. The same application I deployed in test environment. The application is developed in 1.8 version, right? Here also I have installed 1.8, Java 1.8 version. So as the installed version is 1.8 and the application is developed in 1.8, it doesn't create any issue. But when I move it to production, here I have installed 1.7 version. What I install is Java 1.7, but application is developed on advanced version, 1.8 version. Then the application will not work. Then what? I have to uninstall it, again install it. But if I do uninstall 1.7 and support 1.10, it may create some other issue. Just think that. How to solve this issue, right? So for that, what we can do is, we can package. Okay, when I'm deploying my application, I can tell that my application that, hey application, I need Tomcat 8. Okay, I need Java 1.8. This versions I need. Okay, I'll take this, I'll package this. For example, I'll take this and I'll package this and keep it in one location. Okay, I'll keep it at some location. Now I'll take this package and run it on dev environment. So even though whatever the installed version, whether it is even though it is 1.79, it doesn't bother. I packaged everything, whatever the prerequisite for my project, what are requirements, right? I packaged here. So that will download that and run it. Now I'll take this and run it. Here also it will download the same thing and run it. The same thing I'll run in production. What version we have earlier in production? 1.7. Sorry, 1.7. Now, even though it has 1.7, it doesn't bother. It will take this and run it here. Whatever I have mentioned here, it runs here. Okay. That is one benefit we can achieve with Docker. Okay, fine. Now let us get in little more about this Docker. So that is one benefit. Versioning issues I can solve wherever the environment, whether it is Linux machine, Windows machine, okay, my local Windows, or else it is the real-time Linux production, dev, UAT, staging, pre-prod, nothing SAP, nothing I bought. Because I packaged everything. Wherever it needs, download and run it. So my job is easy. That is one benefit. The other one is you might have heard about virtualization, VMware, right? If not, also no problem. I'll explain. I have one infrastructure. What does it mean by infrastructure? Infrastructure means hardware. Like I have 1 TB of hard disk, right? 16 GB of RAM, 32 GB of RAM, one CPU, like that we'll have, right? Those are infrastructures. To work on that, what we will do? This is my infrastructure, right? On that, I will install operating system. Just think that this is my infrastructure. On top of that, I install one operating system, right? This is infrastructure. Okay, what it has? It has, just for example, take that 500 GB hard disk I have. Okay. Next, 32 GB RAM I have. So on this, what I did is I installed Red Hat Linux. Red Hat Linux I have installed, one of the Linux operating distribution. Okay. Now, can I install another operating system on top of that? Red Hat is there. I want Ubuntu as well. I want to work with this. For development environment, I want to use Red Hat Linux. For testing, I want to use Ubuntu. Then how can I get it? So what generally we'll do is we'll split it using something called as virtualization concept. Okay, virtualization concept. VMware, VirtualBox, Vagrant, we can use anything. So this is hypervisor we call actually. Hypervisor. Okay. Next, using this, as we cannot install operating system on another operating system, that is not possible. We cannot do that. So what we'll do is we'll take help of hypervisor. On top of this Linux, Red Hat Linux, we'll install one hypervisor. Using that hypervisor, we will have other operating systems, whatever we need. For example, let me take a little colorful so that it will looks good and we can understand better. This one. Okay. Next, other operating system. Okay. Next. I think I already taken it, right? Let me take this one. Oh, I already taken that only. Sorry, no, it's not selected. Oh, fine, not selected. Okay, fine. Sorry. What I did is, this is my hard infrastructure. On top of that, I have Red Hat in OS. I had hypervisor. Then on top of this, I have installed other operating system. As I want other operating systems, here I have installed Ubuntu. Okay, that is Ubuntu I have installed. Then okay, fine, it will be. Now here I installed CentOS. Okay, another CentOS. Let's take this. Different operating systems I installed. Fine, but what I am doing here is, while installing this, while configuring this, what I have to do is I have to specify some memory for this. Here it is only one operating system is right. So whatever the infrastructure, hard disk capacity, RAM capacity, only this Linux is going to use it. But on top of this, I'm again other operating systems I'm installing, right? I'm dividing this. So what I have to do is, for this I have to give some memory. Okay. So I'm telling that use 100 GB from the hard disk. From 500 GB, you use 100 GB and 8 GB of RAM. Yes. For this also I'm doing the same. Use 100 GB from the hard disk and 8 GB of the RAM. For this, what I did is I asked it to use 200 GB and 8 GB. So how much is left? So hard disk capacity among 500 GB, I am using 400. I'm already using 400. What is the leftover one? 100 GB. From RAM, I'm using 888 for each one, and the leftover is 8 now. Now what I thought is, I've given this memories, right? At the time of configuring itself, I have to give it. Now what I thought is, I have 200 GB here, right? I don't want to use that. Only 100 GB is enough for me for this. But this OS, this Ubuntu needs another 100 GB. So what I want to do is, can I remove the 100 GB from here and give that 100 GB here? No, it's not possible in virtualization. And if I use this 400 GB, but 100 remaining is there, right? Can I use that extra 100 at least here? It is also not possible because you already configured. Once you give it, it is fixed. This is one more issue. Just think that this is dev environment, this is UAT environment, production environment. The same Linux are divided like this. For example, I cannot share the memory. Then what I have to do? So to solve such issues, one is already we have seen versioning issue. This is one more. So what we'll do is, instead of this hypervisor here, instead of using virtualization concept, we'll use containerization concept. We will use containerization concept. That is one of the containerization tool is Docker. Okay, Docker. That I'm going to use this. Okay, sorry. This I'm going to use. Docker I'm going to use, right? Fine. What it will happen is, whenever you are configuring, you don't need to give any memory. You don't need to give any memory. That packaging I said, right, in previous example, for one application, I don't need to bother. I will package Java 1.8, Tomcat 8, I need Ubuntu, like that. Or I need Red Hat, I need CentOS. Whatever I need, I'll configure, package everything. So it will download everything and run it. Here I don't need to specify any memory also. Why? Because it directly uses this. Directly uses this. Today it needs 100 GB. From 500 it will use 100 GB. Tomorrow it need only 50. Okay, no problem, it will use 50. The remaining thing is free, right? Either this can use, this can use, this can use. Okay, like that is flexible. That is a basic about Docker. This is very powerful tools, Docker and Kubernetes. We are going to discuss in detail about Docker and Kubernetes, like volumes, whatnot, everything, creating containers, playing Docker file. Okay, we will play with that. Okay, next is about brief idea about knowledge sharing about Docker. And what about Kubernetes? Now, the same thing, Ansible example I have discussed, right? I want to deploy it on multiple instances. For example, let me remove this. I have this. Multiple servers. Okay, production. These are my servers. Same application I want to deploy at 3 places. At 3 places. I'll use a load balancer. I'll use a load balancer. And what I'll do is, I'll connect these 3 instances to my load balancer. Then, if any user is hitting this, okay, if any user is going to hit this, so what it will do is, it will share the load. This load balancer will share the load between this. Fine. Now, the capacity of this, each one is 1,000 users are accessible. What if it goes more than this? Because I was not able, this one single server was not able to handle 1,000 users, so that's why I went to 3,000. Three servers to handle 3,000 users. But I got very popular. The KC Technologies organization got very popular. Now what I have to do? I have to increase this. If I want to do it manually, then it's very difficult, right? So for Dockerized applications, if I use Kubernetes, I can do it very easily. Just write one command, it will automatically create it. Even because of some network issues, it got deleted suddenly somehow. No problem. That Kubernetes will automatically kill. I think I have spelled as Docker mismatch. Sorry guys for that. So if I use Kubernetes, even it gets deleted because of some issues. Again, it starts. My application got deleted for some issue, network issue or some other issue. No problem. It automatically creates. Okay. This is what Kubernetes orchestration tool for containerized tools like Docker. Okay. That we'll discuss Docker, persistent volumes, how to monitor this using Prometheus, Grafana, okay, persistent volumes, static, dynamic ones, whatnot, okay, part scaling, blue-green deployments. There are so many big approaches, which is very popular, guys. Frankly, trust me, this is one of the popular tools. Okay, most of the jobs is very popular. Even if you have a less package, also if you want increase package, try to learn Kubernetes. It has very good demand. Okay, fine. This we are going to learn as part of DevOps. Okay, as part of DevOps, Ansible we are learning, and also Docker we are learning, and Kubernetes. As part of Kubernetes itself, we are going to learn Prometheus and Grafana. Okay, so did we miss anything here? Linux shell scripting, Git, Tomcat, okay, Jenkins, Sonarchy. Okay, we are almost covering. I think I covered all the tools. Next, along with this, we'll discuss what is Slack, what is Putty, WinSCP. Okay, these are simple tools. In real time, we use this WinSCP or FileZilla. Okay, okay, how to use Putty or MES. Okay, like this Slack communication, emails, how to send email, that tools and all. We'll discuss those. I'll take one class and I'll explain the real. When I talk about real time tools and scenarios, I'll discuss about all these things. Okay, fine. This is what about DevOps. Now let's get into AWS. Okay, let's get into AWS. What is AWS? One of the cloud provider. As we know, it is one of the cloud provider, right? This cloud basically. What is cloud means? Not the general cloud, guys. Okay, passing cloud. Not that. So coming to IT sectors is what are the cloud providers? Is the top one is AWS. Second place goes to Azure as of today. Next, Google Cloud. Okay. What is this cloud? Okay, we know that as part of DevOps, we discussed that automation. What is we are seeing right from a few days, we are seeing like automation is going to take out the jobs. Cloud is going to take out the jobs. One we learned DevOps automation, so we are safe now. Next one, let's learn about cloud. What is this cloud? Same DevOps scenario here. I want to install on all these tools. Where I have to install? At one of the Linux server. Now I asked you, some of my employee, to install or as my team, we decided to get one Linux machine. Is that easy to buy a Linux machine? No, we have to spend a lot. Okay, and it takes time as well. They have to create that infrastructure, or if it has the infrastructure, then they have to install that, creating networking. Okay, so many things they have to do that and then share it. Just think that it will take 5 days to get it, and you have to pay a lot of money for that, right? Yes, fine. And when buying that Linux machine, means like Linux machine means your laptop is what? Windows machine. Like that in real time, there will be some Linux machine. Now, why we have that Linux machine is to support all the servers and tools, right? Now, I have this AWS, okay, to keep that AWS aside. Now, the example what I said is, I want to buy out one Linux. Can you get that Linux for 2-3 days? No, I have to take it for license based for years, like 1 year, 6 months, 2 years, 3 years. Now what I expected is my application hits one Linux server. I bought it for 2 years license. After using of 6 months, I felt that this is no more required. After 6 months, I bought it for 2 years license, but I don't want to use it for 6 months. Still, I paid for 2 years. Whether I use it or not, I have to pay for 2 years because I got it based on licensed. That is one. That is what normal approach. But clouds, what is AWS is, it provides infrastructure as a service. In previous example, I have said, right, what is meant by infrastructure? This hardwares, RAM, CPUs, okay, hard disk, that and all, external hard disk, like that and all. AWS provides, not only AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. This cloud will provide infrastructure as a service. Means that RAM and all, they will provide as a service. Means as a web application, I can just hit one URL, connect to that, I can work on that Linux. That's it. We don't need to bother. We don't need to maintain that infrastructure in a big room and all. They will maintain. Just we'll connect using one URL or some commands. We'll connect to that and start working. Okay. That is one of the benefit of AWS. There are so many other things as well. Let me discuss one by one. So for that, whatever I have discussed, right, like creating Linux instances, that is called as EC2 service. Okay, EC2 Elastic Compute Cloud. So as I'm going to tell this as part of EC2, just guys, don't get any confused. I have seen many people giving a wrong concept to students. There are something called as ELB, Elastic Load Balancer, EBS, EFS and all. They are not services. Okay, EC2 is service under EC2, ELB, okay, EBS, EFS. auto scaling, those are like concepts under EC2. Okay, people started just to show that the content. Okay, I'm not saying that I'm great something, I'm giving that's correct and all. I'm not blaming someone also. I'm just giving correct information. Even if you go to AWS account, you can see the services. Okay, in class I will show you people the list, whatever AWS shows, it clearly shows these are the services. If you get into EC2 service, there you can see that different options. So now we'll discuss about EC2, VPC, okay, IAM, S3, S3 Glacier, okay, SNS, along with SNS, what we are going to CloudTrail, RDS, okay, monitoring, okay, CloudWatch alarms, okay, I'm writing it as well. Alarms. There is anything here? EC2, VPC, IAM, S3, Glacier, SNS, Cloud Trails, RDS, monitoring, CloudWatch alarms. This and all we are going to learn. If I miss, I'll add that. Okay, if I had missed anything. Using EC2, what we will do? We'll create Linux instances. One. Next, there is something I said, right? If I have 3 instances, okay, 3 servers, I have deployed my application, I'll have a load balancer. Okay, it will, if 3 users are hitting this, it will connect to this, it will redirect the issues and all, right? What is this? Load balancer, right? That is called as ELB, that we are going to discuss as part of EC2, that load balancing configuration. Now I have these 3. Now if my load is increasing, I'm crossing more than 2800 users, then I automatically has to increase that. Okay, that automatically I have to increase one more instance and one more Tomcat server deploy my application. I don't want to do that manually. Automatically AWS has to do that. For that we use auto scaling. Okay, for that we are going to use auto scaling. That also we are going to learn as part of EC2, load balancer EC2. Now this is one of my Linux machine. It has 500 GB hard disk. That memory is not enough for me. Then what I have to do? I have to use external hard disk. We use for laptops also external hard disk we attach, right? Like this I want to attach. That is EBS, elastic block storage. How to work with that? How to attach it? How to mount it? Okay, how to create our own AMS? Okay, how to work with different types of Linux instances in AWS, whatnot. Everything we'll discuss in detail about EC2. Okay, and VPC. Now you might have seen. Okay, if you want, I can show you the content as well. Okay, what I'm going to discuss. Okay, next, this is about and one more thing I have forgot to discuss about is New Relic application monitoring. Okay, in DevOps. Okay, I'll show you this. For example, I deployed my application right in Tomcat. What if my application goes down in the midnight? Can I ask some supporting guys to work 24/7 in 3 shifts and start monitoring it for every 5 minutes? I don't want to do that. What I'll do is I'll take one tool called as New Relic. Okay, New Relic. I will tell this tool, in the tool I configure that you go and connect to my application, check it for every 5 minutes. If there is any issue in that, if application is not working properly, give me send me an email. Like that we can configure it back in New Relic. That we are going to learn. New Relic is application monitoring tool. Nagios also is there. Nagios I stopped discussing, but if I can discuss based on students' requirements. Nagios is for infrastructure monitoring. For example, if my entire Linux machine itself goes down, I want to search. If I have 30 Linux servers, I want to monitor that. I can use that Nagios. But in AWS, I'm discussing about cloud monitoring and all, right? For that, I stopped Nagios. But cloud monitoring is a little costlier. Okay, fine. Coming to AWS, right? We are discussing about AWS. In this EC2, what I am discussing, I said, okay, EC2. So AWS, this and all I'm going to discuss. EBS, EFS, how to create snapshot, okay, volumes, bootstrap, CLI, how to work with AWS commands, okay, auto scaling, real-time scenarios, ELB, elastic load balancer, I said, right? CloudWatch alarms, monitoring, we'll discuss as part of this. Now, that is the benefit, one of the feature of AWS. Fine. Next service is VPC. I want to create my own network. VPC is nothing but like a network in AWS. Okay, virtual private cloud we call. Now you might have seen in your office. Your office has its own network. If you are in office network, then only you can work. If you come to your home and try to access your office application, you cannot access it. What is that? Because your office has its own network, private networks, public networks, subnets. Okay, that and all we are going to discuss. The VPC is a very good concept. Even if you going for a certification, AWS certification, most of the questions are from VPC and then EC2. Okay. Now, as part of VPC, I'm going to discuss all these things. Okay, how to create my own network. Okay, what is IP address? We see hit IP address, right? What is IP address? IP address ranging. What is CIDR? How the IP address? Why? How we design IP address? We not design, but how it will be. Okay, how to create our own networks. What are regions, data centers? Okay, availability zones. I need VPC, AWS. Okay, what is an internet gateways, route tables, NACL, NAT gateways, ENI, peering, security groups, port numbers, including real-time scenarios. We will discuss everything. Okay, I will everything. I'll show whatever we discuss. We'll discuss it in a real time. How the industry, because we are learning to get job and survive, right? Or else, if you have a job, we want to work on that. Is the reason, right? Let's learn how we use it in real time. Next thing is S3, simple storage service. Okay, I'll come to IAM S3. I have created one easy to instance with 500 GB, okay, memory hard disk. Now, why I have to use that 500 GB? For my servers, configurations, installations, deployments, and all. But I got one application which has 400 GB of static data. Static data means PDFs, images, like that. Okay, documents, that and all. If I use that in Linux, I have to pay extra. I have to pay some unnecessary memory. Unnecessarily, I have to pay extra for that. For that, what AWS has given is, it has given one storage service. Okay, S3, static bulk storage we can store there. Okay, that PDFs and all static storage we can store in S3. We can access it based on the how we access it, how we modify the data. Every time I'm going to update one document, based on that we have some billing. So as part of this, along with this, we are going to discuss about the pricing of S3, EC2 instances, everything. Okay, pricing also we are going to discuss. Next, Glacier. It is also for storage only. Okay, it is also for storage. What this is, archive means I don't want to use it frequently. Okay, then I can archive it and store it in Glacier. How to work with this, I'll discuss this. Now, as part of S3, what we are going to discuss is S3 bucketing. Okay, bucketing. How bucketing means like a folder, parent folder we create, everything will store there. How to store that? What is the storage classes? For example, I have bulk data that just in that there is some elections are going on. For that, I have created some articles. Okay, this MLA is come from this constituency, like that. At the time of elections, everyone will start accessing that. But after 1 week, very less people access. After 1 month, very less. After 6 months, very less, right? So here, based on the access, I can reduce my costing. Why I have to pay extra cost when the pages, what are the articles I have created are not accessed regularly. When it is accessed regularly, let me pay high. But when it is not accessed regularly, let me pay little less. That and all we can control using storage classes of S3. That and also we are going to discuss how to create buckets, objects, reading, updating and all. I want to create my static website. So for example, this is my website. For example, this is not a website, it's a page. I want to create my website like this. Here I'm not going to register, nothing I'm going to do. I'm just seeing it. Okay, I'm going to see that. Here some other are there, the content is not updated, I think. So like this, we are going to design some applications. How to design these applications? Static, how to host those? Means hosting is deploying them. How to do that and all we'll discuss as part of this S3 only. Okay, how to create cross-region applications, object lifecycle, commands and all we'll discuss. Next, IAM. Okay, one of the popular one. What is this IAM is? I have AWS account I created. Okay, cloud, right? I said something. I created it. Who can access that? I can access because I only created it. Am I only the person who is working on DevOps and AWS in my office? No, my colleagues are too there. I want to give him access. But can I give all privileges, all access to complete access to everyone? No. What if they delete something? I want to give one person only easy to access. I want to give some person only to VPC access. I want to give some person only IAM access. I want to give one person only S3 access. In that S3 also, I want to give one person only access to one folder. Okay, not everything. That how to control is using IAM, Identity Access Management. In IAM, we'll discuss a lot. Okay, creating IAM policies, password policies, multi-factor authentication, how to create users, delete them, edit their permissions, how to create groups. Okay, next, what is AR and S3 also will discuss that. Okay, how to create a role, attach it to instance, EC2 instance, how to work with the command lines. That all we'll discuss. SNS topics. What are these SNS topics is? I want to send a notification. Whenever I said, right, in the load balancing, automatically, if I have 3 servers, I have to increase one more automatically using auto scaling. When I increase one, I have to send one notification. When an instance is deleted by mistake, I have to send one notification to my DevOps engineers or AWS administration saying that there is an issue. That notification, email notification and all we can send using SNS. Cloud Trails. This I'll explain in as part of S3 itself. What doing? I'm deleting one file from S3. I'm updating it. I'm deleting. I want to know it. What is happening? So that can be done using Cloud Trail. Next, sorry, monitoring. That monitoring, how to monitor what is the instances, whether it is deleting, what is the capacity of that, and all. I can do this. Alarms also same like SNS only. Not SN, same like, but in alarms we can use notifications. What this alarms will do is same like alarms only. General alarm terminology I'm comparing about. Okay. What they do is when my EC2 instance capacity reach more than 70%, I have to trigger one alarm. Whenever that alarm triggers, I have to send one SNS notification. Alarm is nothing but an event. Whenever my CPU capacity is crossing 70%, it will trigger. I'll create one alarm and tell that alarm that whenever my CPU capacity reaches 70%, you trigger. What should happen when the alarm triggers? We can send a notification, email notification to AWS administrator or DevOps engineer saying that, hey dude, this instance, so and so instance, CPU capacity has reached this much. Like that we can tell. Okay. Next. RDS. How to create databases in AWS cloud. How to create database in AWS cloud. It supports many databases. Each one we will discuss. Okay, that is what. How to handle the databases and all we are going to discuss as part of this AWS. But every time I keep updating the data. So if you new topics I'll give like Beanstack and all I'll be discussing. I mentioned it because the small concepts and all I'm not going to add. Based on the students' interest, I'll keep giving them as much as possible. Okay, fine guys. So this is the demo about DevOps and AWS. So if you have any questions, you just contact me on this numbers, any of these numbers. If you are interested to learn, or even if you don't want to interest learn, if you have any questions or not, if you want to contact, this is my WhatsApp number. You can call or WhatsApp to this. You can call to this number, or you can send an email to this. No, email. Okay, you can email to this email ID. Okay. Hope you enjoyed. The aim, what I decided today is I just have to give a knowledge of DevOps. What is DevOps and what is AWS? Because so many people are interested to learn DevOps and AWS nowadays, right? So many are not aware what they are actually. So that is the reason I just want to provide you a clear knowledge about that. Hope you got it. Okay. Whenever you are learning it, choose wisely. Okay, guys. Thank you all. Okay. Have a good time.